Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I remember Rosie.
Yeah.
I barely remember. I've got a bunch of pictures right in front of me with
Where's the
everybody's
sound?
picture and their name. So.
I don't know.
I remember Rosie every time I have to send something out for the club.
Yeah.
I hope you're not cursing me every time you do
Oh,
that.
no, never.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I told Flavio that Greg sent some photos in, but he's probably not going to attend. He's got a barbecue up the street, so.
Oh, okay. I wonder how Tony's doing, if he's up to.
Yeah, I meant to
Last
call
night.
today and forgot. So I'm going to make a note. So where are Ed and Penny now?
At home?
We're in Australian outback.
You're in the outback.
Yeah,
You're backing out of the outback?
yes, back all the way out to Napomo.
We are home.
All right.
I don't think we have any other journeys planned until August. We're going up to Bodie days. Boat
Oh.
ODO.
Bodie
So,
Day.
Well, yeah, Bodie day. It's only one day.
yeah.
Budget cuts, you know.
Do they open up some of the buildings
They
during?
do.
in there.
Well, the last time we were there, they did. They opened them up. I think there were 3 or 4 that they opened for maybe an hour or 2 at a time.
Mhm.
And they kind of rotated through. You know, they don't want a lot of traffic in there, but
Right.
I remember going into the jailhouse. I think I went into the chapel, and something else too.
You
And
went in the jailhouse and actually got out?
Tony!
well,
Tony.
that's quite a story that we probably don't have time for that.
Nope, Tony's here.
Tony,
Hey, I remember that guy too.
Hey!
He's the cat's meow guy.
Hi.
How you doing, Tony?
I think I'm doing quite well. There's at times I get pain, but I got all these staples up and down me at the moment.
Oh my God.
You'll have to go up into the mountains with the pine trees. You'll fit right in.
I got this feeding tube, and that hurts. Not that I'm having any feed through it, but it's like sore against your skin, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, it irritates it after a while.
Yeah.
How long will you need to keep that tube in, Tony?
I'm hoping that tube will come out Monday.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
I go up to see the surgeon Monday, and I think he'll probably remove the staples and that tube. I got these other 2 drains that are like a pair of testicles that I'm apparently going to keep for some time.
Yeah.
They're not as,
But
they're
you
not
know,
as, not as big as yours, though, Tony.
oh, way bigger than mine. You've seen the picture.
Yeah.
But no, you know, you get times it's great, and other times it's you feel a bit you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's a major shock to your body, so it's going to take some time to
oh yeah,
get it
Yeah.
taken care of.
had a telephone meeting with the nutritionist there, you know, where they go into everything about, you know, what you're eating and are you losing weight? And I said, I haven't got a clue because we don't have a scale here. And, you know, what's your poop like? And all that sort of stuff. So, but right this minute, my back's aching. That's probably why I'm feeling a bit irk.
Yeah,
But those of you yesterday, thanks for Chuck's video. Those of
Yeah.
you there.
yeah. Well, we were all missing you and thinking about you.
Yeah, that was wonderful. It really was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as you probably guessed, I haven't had anything to submit.
Well, that's okay.
Well,
But I'm joining the fun.
I put some, well, I don't even know if I got them submitted in time, but I sent some today, but it might
Oh,
have.
I didn't see him, Elaine.
Yeah, it was probably too late. I said if they went in time, I'll share them, but if not, it's just some fair pictures that
Oh yes,
from
you guys went
the
to the
Santa
fair,
Maria
didn't you?
Fair,
Yeah.
and they're not
Well,
great, but
I quit looking after about 11 or 12. I don't remember.
it was around 11:30, I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
when I sent them, so late. I just never, I didn't have time to do it earlier,
Yeah.
and
And I didn't have time to look earlier, later.
yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Yes. But you know, you have to keep putting the best foot forward. And
Okay, everybody tell us something secret about yourself.
Something secret?
Why?
Well, you know, unburden yourself.
Won't be a secret no more.
Confess.
Yeah.
I'm a crap photographer.
Yeah, people thought they said crack photographer, but
Oh, crap.
Get back to where it was at.
How did you get off of it?
I don't know.
okay, well,
You can start.
I think I'm going to. Hopefully I got everything set up right, so let's see what we do. So I'm going to share the photos that were sent in, and they're just in alphabetic name order, so there's no particular reason other than your name came after some of the other's name. So let's
Particular
try.
place to go.
That's right. Let's try this. Well, that's not what I wanted.
Beat the new WebEx, same as the old WebEx.
Stop sharing. Let's see here. Share it again.
Ooh. Yeah. Whoa.
Now this. Oh, here. Maybe this is what it is.
Right.
What it is, bro.
I hope it's what yes, it is. Okay. So,
Oh,
is there a frog around?
yes, this is currently part of my thing.
Aha.
Loud
Okay.
belching.
Okay, so here is Alan's work, and you can tell us about it. Let's see.
I went to the Renaissance Fair and I thought I'd shoot black and white, and some of the stuff worked out better than others. It's kind of a garden variety, knights in armor fighting each other thing. Jake.
Yeah, I like it though. It looks pretty good. Good composition.
I like the monotone colors you chose.
Yeah, that's like a almost, well, it's a brown tone. It's not really sepia.
Right.
It was in-camera JPEG,
Uh-huh.
and so that's why I was kind of shooting in-camera JPEGs. I tried to make everything kind of want to make it look old.
Mm-hmm.
But then I saw this guy, one of the people I was with, Ralph from the Photo Society.
Ralph George.
He took some color pictures on our Facebook and said, "Wow, they looked a lot better than what I got." But anyway, I liked the process of having to shoot. Also, I had something called a glimmer glass filter,
Mm-hmm.
which is actually a filter for shooting video, but it's a diffusion filter that doesn't change the contrast. But what it does is it softens some of the white areas. So I was trying to see if it would.
Uh-huh.
And
Right.
it was pretty hot out and direct sun. It's-
Yeah.
Did it do its job like they said it would?
It does. It works better at lights at night when you like do night photography and you have like a bare light bulb. It's
Uh-huh.
a big white dot, and it diffuses that better. But it sort of took if you look at the hot spots on the helmet, I think that was partly responsible for why they're not real hard circles.
Uh-huh.
They're more diffused. So yeah, I'd say it works.
Cool.
And you process this in Photoshop?
No, I don't even use Photoshop. No,
Well, you-
this is a JPEG out of the camera. I cropped
Okay.
it in Lightroom. I might have hit a little bit of clarity, but it's
Yeah.
basically an in-camera JPEG.
Well, when I Photoshop, when I say that, it's because it's what I use, but you know, it's basically generic term for, you know, Lightroom, et cetera. It's just a photo
Process.
editor. Is what we use
Processor.
that term.
Well, the way I see it is modern cameras are basically small computers.
Yeah.
Each one is different. So every individual camera has a personality like every type of film
Right.
does. So kind of, I do other stuff in the computer. So for photography, I try to do as little on the computer as possible.
Okay. Very good.
That's just my style.
Okay. Here's the next one.
Okay, so I was thinking, okay, when you shoot bike races in person, and you pan, the bike riders are moving and the scenery isn't. So you focus on the bike riders and it blurs the scenery.
Uh-huh.
So I was thinking, what happens if I use a slow shutter speed and I'm watching TV and there's a helicopter shot where everything is moving?
Hmm.
And so this is shot, I think this is shot at what, 200ths of a second or something. It's pretty slow.
Yeah. Well,
That's pretty cool. I like that.
yeah, I do too. And especially the color.
Yes, I was just
Contrast.
going to say the color palette helps a lot too.
Yeah.
It's the angles and the composition. Yeah, that's nice.
Right. I think so too. Okay.
And
And-
this, I'm not sure how I did this. It was a camera that has that had the internal filters removed,
Hmm.
and unfortunately, the camera I have has a hot spot at every aperture and at every zoom length. So I said, "Oh crap! What am I going to do with this camera?" So I used some of the color, what they call them filter. I don't call them filters, but they call them filters in the camera, as well as I think I used a color infrared filter on top of it,
Hmm.
you know, on this camera it covers all frequencies. So that's a neighbor's cat in my backyard.
Looks to me like a nightmare.
It was actually a nice day.
Yeah.
And this was last night. We were at in the meetup group. We were at the Cayucas at the pier,
Hmm.
and then we went to photograph the shipwreck, boat wreck. And I was shooting. The sun was coming in at a really hard angle, so I wanted to see if I could like shoot people like side lit.
Like what?
Side lit, like, you know, it's like a
Oh, side lit. Yeah. I
yeah.
gotcha.
So that was one attempt at that.
Okay.
I think the lighting's pretty effective.
Yeah, I like it.
Mhm.
Yeah, the water looks like mud on that one.
Hmm,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
And this is the same thing I was trying to using with the light was hitting the beach.
The one thing I'm looking on a small screen, but when I looked up on the larger screen, the light on the ocean to the left of the person, it looks, especially at the top, it looks a little gray, which to me it's really blown out. And did you try to adjust for that?
No, there was no way to adjust for it. It was
Yeah.
too. So I wanted the contrast between the dark and the light.
Hmm.
So
Well, I've seen people take, highlights that are completely blown out. There's no information there, and they try to change it either by putting a curve on it and reducing the highlights, or trying to paint it out in some way, and it always gives that really gray look to it.
Well, I did slide the highlight slider down, but
Yeah, well,
it
that's
did, but there's absolutely no information in part of that. It's,
right.
It's
Well,
definitely
and that,
right.
yeah, and that's my point. When it's blown out like that, you cannot fix it by trying to bring the highlights down. The best you can do is try to find a matching color. Like if you had the sun in an orange sky, you could kind of paint over the sun, sample the orange and then paint over, mess around with your opacity till you get the look you want. But trying
Well,
to bring,
the blown out look was intentional.
okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you look at the guy's figure, it's like up and down,
Uh-huh.
and then the seaweed goes off at an angle,
Mm-hmm.
and then the light goes off at a different angle.
Yeah.
And so it was intentional.
Yeah. Well, I like the light. I was just making a comment that I thought you tried to bring down the highlights.
No, I couldn't. There's no way. It
Right.
was like the sun was so bright, there were no clouds in the
Yeah.
sky.
Yeah.
And it was about, I don't know, maybe 6:30 or something in the
Mhm.
evening, so it was really direct.
Yeah. Well, I like the partial silhouette on the guy too. That looks,
Mhm.
you
Yeah,
can
I like the
separate.
footprints.
I'm sorry?
I like the footprints.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's just holding that kelp in such a pleasing way,
Yeah.
and really works.
Yeah. And the silhouette, there's enough contrast that he stands out against the sand. If he was lighter or the sand was darker, he'd kind of disappear into it, which wouldn't be good.
He's holding the seaweed like he's gonna strangle it.
Well, he already did. You can see it's died.
He was doing some weird stuff with that seaweed.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Wow,
And
that's
this one, I was at the fair last week with the Calverts and the Powells and some other people, and I was hand holding my camera. The camera has really good image stabilization.
Mm-hmm.
I was hand holding it, and then I also had a glimmer glass filter on that one. I was trying to I wanted to see if I could soften the light. On this one, though, I did slide the highlight slider down because everything was white.
Mhm.
And when I did that, I brought out the colors. And so this is, I don't even know what this is.
very cool.
Yeah, but it's great colors. It's a nice abstraction, Alan.
This is a ride that was there called the Rampage.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I looked at that and I had no confidence in the integrity of the structure at all.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
There's no way you're getting me on that thing.
Well,
I feel that way about most of the rides there.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, but it looks like if your seatbelt broke, you'd be flung out.
You think they're only there for what, less than a full week? They tear those things down and throw them up, and you think, wow,
Well, they're in Paso now.
yeah.
Yeah.
But they do it so quickly, you think, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it.
Yep.
Let's go
Nice,
to an,
Alan.
Like
Yeah.
your night down, those are cool.
Nights were bold.
what did you say, Tony?
I said in days of old when nights were bold.
Yes.
Yeah.
And toilets weren't invented. We left our load upon the road and went home quite contented.
That's not the version I know.
Well, that's the only version I know. I don't get around much.
Okay, this is Ed's.
I've seen this.
You have
Oh,
seen
it's
it.
mine.
We hope so. It's yours.
Yeah. So Penny and I went to the Renaissance Fair also, and we saw some of our friends there from photo activities. And I had a few that were ready to be seen by others, so I sent them in. And this is one of them. Next one.
Okay.
This guy's near the Queen's Court. There were about half as many reenactors as usual. I did get the story on the Queen's Court. There was an issue with COVID among the court people. And some of the other guilds and stuff there were held up. In fact, one of the stage plays, The Merry Wives of Windsor, were out. There was one or two of those people had COVID also, so it took a toll. The fair what was it, doubled?
That's what you said.
Yeah, they had twice the usual attendance this weekend, this year. Twice the attendance that they have had in the past.
Very
Next
good.
one. This guy, Van Healy, I think is his last name, if I recall correctly. Sometimes I get people confused. And late afternoon light, and that was a little bit easier to photograph than some of the others. Next,
Hang on.
I'm hanging.
There we go.
This gal was one of the merchants, and I photographed her next to a tree, but I didn't really like it. It was the light was just too harsh, and light is generally pretty much unmanageable and impossible at the Ren fairs. So we made another photograph here inside her little booth of wares, and I thought it came out nicely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Colors are good.
Yeah,
Yeah, the colors are great. I like the green and the purple and that.
yeah,
Nice contrast.
yeah, I like that too. There's another gal. She was with one of the guilds, and I asked her if she made the dress. She says, "Well, yes and no." She described what the dress started out as. She made a lot of changes to it. The red trim on there was hers, and I think maybe the black was too, and some of the lace things. But I thought it was a cool dress. And we made photographs, and I said, I'm going to come back later, and maybe we can find a better place with better shade. She says, well, I says, maybe we can find shade on a hay bale. She says, well, I can be on the ground next to that tree. There's shade over there. So we did that, and I thought it came out nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Did the red and the black, were those additions to a dress that she
I
wore?
believe so, yes. The red for sure. I'm not sure whether she added the black or not, but I think so, but I'm not positive.
Okay.
But it's cool.
It's a really beautiful dress. And
She did a
Yeah.
good job, yeah.
Yeah, she's quite striking also.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Especially your hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hat was cool.
This one is almost ready to share. Not quite. But it's another character from the fair. I like the fair. I like the silliness, and I like the Renaissance fairs aren't really so much reenactments anymore as they are seem like more like costume parties anymore.
Yeah.
With the fair people, the guilds and stuff staying fairly close to Renaissance stuff, but everybody else, I mean, we went to one, well, it was this one. Spider-Man was there, and something crazy. What the hell, somebody's not clear on the
Spider-Man.
concept. But anyway, but the people are always, they're fun.
Yeah, they are fun. I've been to several of them.
They draw a good clientele.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is near the food court, and I saw her, and I said, I want to photograph somebody with pink hair. So I did.
That
Very
was
good.
a little bit different than the original Renaissance days too, but
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we saw a lot of dyed hair like this.
Yeah,
hair,
yeah,
yeah.
blues and greens, and a couple people had a couple gals had red wigs,
Hmm.
and there you
It
go.
was very popular during the Renaissance.
The red wigs.
The dyed hair.
Oh yeah, especially the purples because it was the royal color.
Okay.
I had a friend of
Right.
mine when I was studying math at Cal Poly. Her name was Anne, and she wore always black clothes. She had black hair, which she dyed purple. And you couldn't really see that it was dyed purple unless the sun hit it just right. And then you got these
Yeah.
weird little purple highlights. It was actually looked kind of cool, actually.
Okay, these are Frank's. And that's me with my boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Tim's got boobs, and he loves them.
That was our field trip to Cal Poly's, what was it, architectural graveyard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So had to get Jim with the boobs. This was back in May, the lunar eclipse.
Uh-huh.
This
Oh,
is
that looks great.
Yeah, that's
Clarkson
cool.
Canyon. I was just trying to beat the fog because I started out, off a Dominion Road, and then the fog came in, and so I kept going down Foxen Canyon until I could, get out of the fog.
You got the moon a nice size.
That's a really large moon.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
I could say one thing. I like the muted colors in this too. It's really,
Mhm.
really nice.
The field.
Yeah.
And this is the basically full eclipse
Hmm.
later in the evening. And right then, the fog was catching up to us.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I like that you've got the trees there in the foreground.
It gave a little something to the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been this. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't have been the same, but it wouldn't have the impact without those trees.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a
Hmm.
little baby oak titmouse that had just fledged in my front yard.
Oh.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's I like the out of focus foreground, the slightly out of focus. It helps you concentrate on the bird. Besides the colors and that type of thing,
Yeah.
your eyes not drawn to the foreground. It moves right to the bird.
Yeah.
And this one's mad.
Yes, Angry Bird.
I was gonna say that looks like he's straight out of Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Well, there was a swallow nest on our neighbor's in the neighbor's eaves, and some sparrows commandeered it and kicked the babies out. So
Oh.
the neighbors came over to my place with the babies and said, "Oh, can you take care of these?" It's like, I don't really want to at the moment, but so I put them in a box and put them up on top of their shed in kind of the shade, and the parents continued to feed them.
Oh, that's good.
That was lucky, yeah.
Yeah, and so he would like 6 a.m. be on the fence, staring me down before he fed the babies.
Hmm.
Okay. I think that's the last. No,
That's good.
got this one.
So just quail doing the happy dance in my backyard.
Wow.
I didn't
beautiful.
know that they had a white and red breast. I'd only seen them from the back. Or is this a special type of quail?
Well, this is our state bird,
State bird.
California valley quail.
Yeah.
This is a male. The
Well,
females.
they probably change colors, Jim. At certain times of the year, they're probably more colorful.
Yeah.
They're probably breeding colors. Do you think so, Frank?
The ones I've had, as far as captive, the males were pretty much, as soon as they color out as juveniles, then they keep
They
that
keep
colors
those
pretty.
colors. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's beautiful colors.
Yeah, it's nice that the way you've got the catch light in his
Mhm.
eye, and really nice.
Thank you.
How do you get all these birds in your house?
I don't know. I have 3 cats, so I'm surprised that they come around, but yes. And this is the butterflies up in Pismo.
Yeah, that's really nice. You've got, I mean, you can really see you're close enough that you can really see the butterflies.
Mhm.
When you're further away, they kind of get lost in the eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah, and what was it, a year or 2 ago, there was hardly any out there, and then this year they came back in force.
Yeah, I hear there was more than 2,000 out there. Maybe, or was it 20,000? Maybe it's 20,000.
I think it's 20, but I didn't see that many. When did you go? Do you remember? I went twice.
Probably late winter, early spring.
We went, I can't remember what month it was, but we didn't see that many until someone told us to go way in the back
Uh-huh.
next to the creek, and they were all in, a large number of them were in a tree right there. But if you didn't know where to look, you would have missed, the big mass of them.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I went to the one down in Goleta too, and it was disappointing a few years ago. I think there was one branch with a few butterflies on it, and that was it. But this year was a little bit better, but still nothing like Pismo.
Pismo
Yeah,
was-
well, we can only hope that they'll continue to
yes.
multiply.
Yeah, I have milkweed in my backyard, and I have monarchs come around, but I've never seen a caterpillar on any of them.
Well, we put milkweed in our backyard, and the first year we had it, we had caterpillars, and we had about eight cocoons,
Mhm.
and I did time lapse of a couple of them as they were emerging. But then the milkweed gets aphids so bad
Oh yeah.
that the plants, you can't really spray them because then, it's not, the butterflies can't eat the leaves, or the caterpillars can't eat the leaves. And so I pulled all of it out, and now it's growing wild, and I have to keep pulling it out. But the butterflies come around, but since that first year, they've never laid eggs again. So I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah, I put some milkweed up and didn't get any butterflies.
Yeah.
Then somebody told me I should take it out of the bathroom.
I used to have a passion vine growing on one of my fences,
Uh-huh.
and it would get loaded with caterpillars. But I think they were trying to think of red admirals or
Yeah.
ladies. I don't
Yeah.
recall. But just covered with them.
Okay,
Oh, nice boobs.
and I'm proud of them.
Not to mention, we saw your backside on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of compliments on that. Okay,
Lucky you for being so skinny. Yeah.
yeah, these are Greg's.
Thanks.
This was taken a couple, 2 weeks ago, guys, out of the
Yeah,
sugar-
the last full moon
right,
that we had.
and it's out of the sugar mill or sugar refinery, whatever.
The Betteravia.
Yeah.
Union Sugar.
It's what?
Union Sugar.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I don't know where these are. I'm assuming, I think this might have been up in someplace on the coast.
But is it smoke or is it?
It's fog, I'm pretty sure.
Fog, yeah. It looks like fog.
Somewhere in America.
I kind of like this. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the dunes out here.
Yeah, maybe the other ones were when we were at the Los Osos Oaks.
Could have been, yeah.
Yep, pretty good dunes there.
Yep. There we are.
Cool.
Good.
And so I'm going to show you mine. I'm sorry?
Jim, is that one at the sugar beet thing? Is that a composite?
Hang on. This one?
That one,
Yes. Yeah. The moon was put in.
We
That's really-
could see the moon there, and the moon was going to line up perfectly with that. But the clouds came in really thick, and there was no moon to be seen.
Well,
Except,
I like that photo. I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's a nice
composite
photo.
looks good.
okay. So this is going to be mine. And this is just some things I put together. There's no theme or anything, as you'll see. I started a little project on photographing gas stations at night. And this is the Costco on what is it? College. No, not college.
Bradley.
The one in
Yeah,
Santa Maria.
yeah. Right, yeah. I
Well,
couldn't
it
remember.
looks so different at night.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, there's no
Cars.
cars.
I'm sorry?
There's no cars all lined up.
Well, yeah, I had to get there because they closed down. This was made at, in the winter time when when it got dark pretty early. And so I put this on a tripod and used a 1635. Probably, I think this is at 16, 18 millimeters, something like that. But I had to plan it because otherwise you get cars in there. So I made this in about 10 minutes after I made this photo, they turned off all the lights.
Wow.
And I was still making photos.
Wow.
Looks cool.
I'm sorry?
It looks really cool. It's really interesting.
Yeah, it is cool.
What time was it that they turned the lights off? I
Well,
didn't realize-
this was like 9 o'clock or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't realize they turned the lights off on there.
Yeah, well, they did.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Or maybe they didn't pay their electricity bill. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. This
And
reminds me of another photographer. I can't think of his name. Who does similar things.
yeah. And
That's
this is the station on Main Street, right off the freeway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, that's the one right by our
It's the one
house.
that does the smog, isn't it?
This
It
what?
sure looks.
That's by the IHOP.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, right by
They do
our
smog
house.
testing there.
Right.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
have
this-
recognized it.
I've got the original version has over on the right hand side, it has another filling, another set of pumps over there. I like it, but I think I've taken that out. I think it made it, you know, it just made it better. You
Yeah.
concentrate right on
Simplified it. Yeah.
Yeah.
and the colors are really cool. So anyway, this has made it a 16 millimeters up close. That's why you get the exaggerated
Uh-huh.
perspective on it.
Exaggerated perspective.
So this is I made this in Mongolia. We were out, the driver and guide that we had, there are, in most of Mongolia, there are no roads. And that's exactly where we were. There's no roads, no signs, nothing. And so you have to depend on a driver who can navigate by sense of smell, I guess, you know. But we came across, we saw off in the distance, we saw these horses, and there must have been 500-600 horses out there. And these guys just started running for whatever reason, so I got that
That's
stopped.
cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
I like it.
Thanks, Tony. This is made in Geneva with a wide angle lens and just a street photo.
The lady on the bike was incredible.
The what?
The lady on the bike was incredible.
Yeah, I like her.
Personality.
Yeah. You can see she's some kind of businesswoman, obviously. I think this was probably made about 10 in the morning, something like that, maybe at 8 in the morning. But it's been so long, I don't really remember. This was a street photo I made in Paris. I like,
Parisian.
yeah, I made because of the guy's, the look on his face.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can see he's talking to a woman. So that hand was perfect. I thought it would make a good. And then after I made the photo and I started working on it, I noticed over here, this guy's hand looks like it's going right up her.
Yes.
True.
That was, I didn't even see that when I made the photo.
That your hand?
It's not mine.
Probably.
Yeah, have you touched the
That
boob?
dirty old man there looking at her.
Yeah. This again is obviously Paris. The area is called Tedesco, I think. Yeah, I can't remember exactly the name. But it's right across the river. The Seine River is between this Tedesco and the tower. And this woman was posing for another photographer originally, and then that photographer got done with her, and I was out with Peter Turnley, and he got her to let him make photos of her, and so I horned in on it and made several of her. The thing I like is the guy on the right.
Yeah.
Dirty
That's
old man.
perfect.
Yeah, exactly. This is at the Louvre, and it was raining, obviously, and I just saw these. I was across the square, and I saw these people walking up, so I rushed over and managed to get a shot with them. I think I was using a 50 millimeter on this. I don't remember.
It's interesting how both of the umbrellas are very similar in pattern, and the one in the middle so defiant. No
Yeah.
umbrella.
Right.
Yeah. Also, you can see the umbrella are quite the same. That's
Yeah.
funny.
Right after I made this photo, the woman in the middle just turned her right and started walking away. He evidently didn't want me to make a photo of her because, I mean, once he saw it and I'd make the photo, I mean, it was almost an immediate turn.
Were they together?
I'm sorry?
Were they together?
I believe they were, because they're just walking too close to each other and in the same, the same depth.
So is it?
And this is one I made. This is over in the Wilshire district in LA. This is made with a cell phone, and I thought I wanted to buy some of those. Okay, that's it.
Wow.
Nice.
Hot diggity.
Yeah.
Great.
Thanks. And here's Penny's.
Yeah, these are snapshots from the Santa Barbara County Fair in Santa Maria, and some from the Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
So just shout out to Ed. Congrats on your Manetti Award for one of his photos.
Yeah, very good.
Congrats.
Ed and Penny both did extremely well at the fair. Almost every image that Penny put in placed, and
Good.
the same with Ed's photos. They did really well.
Very good. That's great.
Unfortunately, there wasn't a whole lot of competition. They did such a poor job on getting the word out that they were having a fair and how to sign up and get your things into the fair. It was pretty bad.
They didn't do a poor job. They did a really crappy job.
Are you saying Ed and Penny were the only ones that entered?
Pretty much that was it.
Yeah, there's a few
No,
others.
not exactly,
Not very
but
many
I did see a lot of
Kids.
Powell entries, and I didn't like the way they were displayed because it was very confusing. The print on the writing that showed the maker's name and what the category was, you almost needed a magnifying glass to read it.
Yeah.
And they weren't, they were just in such a random order. It seemed weird.
It was a mess. The people who put up the photos and stuff and took them in, and then you picked them up from, it was their first time doing this, so I don't fault them. But so far as the number of entry goes, that's whoever put that shit crap of a website together needs to be fired and find somebody that knows what the hell is going on, because the website is a total mess.
Yeah.
You couldn't find stuff. If you thought that a photograph was some sort of livestock, you might find your way to how to enter the photographs, but otherwise you were never going to find it. So they did a really crappy job on the website, and that was really the problem. That's why there was so little competition in the amateur category. They had a lot of the 4-H'ers, they had the pig collectors and everything. There must have been 100 photographs of pigs, but they didn't get the entries from the amateurs because they made it impossible to find out how to do it.
Yeah. Well, I was entered the fair several years ago, and I didn't like the way it was set up and the displays and things like that, so I've never entered again.
Hmm. Yeah, Richard, it really shows how much he did outreach to bring people to show their work.
Mhm.
That he did at least the publicity needed to have more of a equal competition, I'd say, with and heck, we want to see other people's work. It's
Sure.
not just
Yeah, it was a rather disappointing show compared to previous years. I mean, a lot of years we go there and there's some really great photographs and you know, it's fun to see them. This year, you know,
well, we'd already seen ours.
yeah, we'd already seen ours. You know, I wanted to see what other people were doing because
Right.
it can be a really good show, and they didn't have it because they did such a schlock job on the website.
Do we
Well,
even know who the judge was? Do we know who
No.
judge?
I don't know who the judge was.
Yeah, there wasn't anyone there that we could even ask. So
Okay.
this is
Okay.
our hello to Tony from the fair that we did. We were thinking of you, Tony. And this was the best I could do to make them do a group shot.
Like herding cats.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I did get everyone that was there except for myself.
Well, thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I was shooting with my cell phone and had some fun with using the pano mode. And this is one of the rides, the Vertigo.
I like the way it kind of spirals up there. That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the distortion was great.
Yeah, I thought about trying to use the pano mode.
Yeah, it's just I'm not sure really what happened, but it turned out good.
There's a little object.
Bizarre.
Ow.
There's a small object on the sort of in the sky. Is that somebody falling out of one of those
The
things?
guy who fell out. Yeah.
That's Ed hanging on for dear life.
Actually, these were swings that
Uh-huh.
went up in the air and then
Right.
back down again.
Yeah.
There they are.
Ed
What
and
are these
I,
two adorable people?
yeah, the royalty.
That's cute.
Kind of
Yeah.
shake there. Shake a leg.
Yeah.
And there's that's Alan and Bob. Bob we haven't seen in person for a long time. So,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Ralph.
that's what he looks like. Yeah, and then Ralph also came out.
3 troublemakers.
Yeah, we had a good time. And then later I had a visit from Jeannie and Ken.
Mhm.
And unfortunately I didn't take any photos of them. I'm not sure what happened. I think I had too much to drink.
Uh-oh.
Well, I really like the photo. You know, you did a good job on getting all three of those guys in focus and throw the background out of focus. So,
Yeah, I was using my cell phone and just
Uh-huh.
put it on portrait.
yeah. Very
Oh,
There
good.
you go.
yes, I want to be there next year.
Hard work.
Oh, I hope so. That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh,
There he
And
is.
Looks like he ate something that didn't agree with him.
Yeah, right.
I call it the blue raspberry ice shaved ice overdose.
Oh,
You should
think
have
he
him.
was-
You should have had him stick his tongue out.
Well,
It's not as gruesome as the green spray coming off the rides at the fair, though.
Green spray.
well, Ed wouldn't put out his tongue for me, so that's the best I could do.
Okay, he looks sick enough as it is.
Yeah.
Well, there was one of the food vendors had that shaved ice stuff.
Uh-huh.
and They were going on and on about how their flavors were better than everybody else's. And they really were. They make their own flavorings and they're not so sweet, so you can actually taste the flavors instead of just the sugar. They really were very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And here we are at the beginning.
Hey, we saw that.
We did.
So
Okay.
thank you all for coming out on the field trips.
Thanks for doing it.
I wish I could have been there.
So
Well,
I
good.
didn't turn in any pictures, but could I share screen and show some?
Yeah, if I can get this thing to, there we go.
Tony, we could just load you up on a gurney and took you there.
Well, yeah. Wheel me
Okay.
down on the hospital bed. Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Take
could,
some blood.
yeah, we could put Make-A-Wish on the side and make people think it's part of that.
Okay, so this is
That
Jeannie's.
feet and wannabe.
Can you enlarge that screen a little bit?
Let's see. Can you see this?
Yes.
I could go to
cool.
maybe
Go-
that's better.
Go to the,
There you go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
So
That's
this
cool,
is
Jeannie.
this is obviously at the fair, and I was fooling around with lights like other people were, although I didn't meet up with you guys, but I did go over there.
That's a good one.
I got there late. So
Yeah, I like that last one. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
thank you. You know, I have a this Olympus camera. It will let you this is handheld, and it's a little bit shaky, but it has this thing where it tries to take on the new light without oversaturating the old light. So
Mhm.
I think it did okay.
Yeah.
Well, the nice thing about a slow shutter and getting a photo like that is camera shake is not a problem.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Well, but you try to get something sharp and in focus, which she did in that can we go back one again?
Yeah.
See, now, everything isn't blurry. It's just what's supposed to be blurry is blurry. And I can't do that handheld with my camera. I was trying to do that, and I didn't bring my tripod, so I was just really disappointed that I couldn't do that. I could
Yeah.
get, everything was too blurry. So
Yeah.
that's,
Well,
that's pretty
Lane,
cool.
did you give it a try anyway? Even
Yeah.
though you thought you couldn't?
Yeah, I did. And they're all crap.
It's a cheap old Olympus Micro Four Thirds camera, and you can do it.
I could take pictures, but to get a slow enough shutter speed, to get a lot of blur, I couldn't do it. So what I ended up doing just before we left was I thought, well, screw it. I'll just raise my ISO and do a fast shutter speed and freeze the action because I'm not getting anything
So
anyway.
this one is 10 seconds.
Yeah, see, I could hold 10 seconds. No way.
well, my original point was if the uh, the object was still and you had camera shake, that would ruin the object probably.
Yeah.
The photo. But since you've got motion blur in there, the camera shake is not really noticeable, or it's at least acceptable.
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on how much shake there is, but
Right.
you know.
Yeah. That 10 seconds that's pretty incredible. You could do that.
Yeah.
This one's only 1.6 seconds, a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And then this one here is 10 seconds again.
That's good.
That's
Yeah.
good.
I like how that looked. I like those colors.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the
It would
colors
have
are
been
great.
hard to have a tripod there too because it was really crowded and even just standing there, people were, trying to squeeze by you. So
Well, would they allow tripods? I don't think they would allow tripods. Monopods would be
maybe
okay.
a monopod would work. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a
But
I don't think that there's nothing about tripods or
yeah.
that I could see. So
say
In the
that again.
past, I went there. The last time I went there, I brought a tripod.
They usually don't allow it because of the trip hazard.
Yeah, it would have been a trip hazard, I think, because like I said, I was trying to stand out of the way and people were, trying to get around me. And I was thinking, boy, if I had a tripod, this just wouldn't work anyway.
So this one I intentionally moved the camera because I wanted to get a different effect.
Uh-huh.
I kind of like how that one turned out.
Yeah.
And this is just more of the same type of stuff with the zipper.
yeah, that's good. Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's good.
lots of blur.
Very cool.
Yeah.
That was,
That's inspiring for next year.
5 seconds. And I did manage to get Ed and Penny, even though they didn't get me and Ken. But of course, they were in costume too, and Ken and I weren't. Next year, we might have to do something about that. And this one I got because of the Falcon, although it's so busy.
Oh, I
Takes a
can see it
moment.
now.
Yeah.
To see the bird. Yeah, it takes a minute to see the bird. There's,
Yeah.
but a beautiful bird. I just loved the birds and beautiful owl.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
That's nice. That's a great portrait, Jamie.
Self-portrait. No.
Yeah.
And then this girl she was pretty cool. I liked how she focused in on the bird. And this bird's got one blind eye.
Oh, yes.
Oops. And just another shot of her. I thought that was pretty cute.
Yeah.
That is.
And this is part of the macabre parade. I didn't even know he had a parrot on his shoulder until I looked at the picture. I'm like, oh, look at that. Okay. And then after I'd taken the band, I turned to look at my husband and I see this guy next to him going like, watch out.
Which one's your husband?
It doesn't look good. It says something about the plague. The plague is the thing on his hat. And I'm going like, is this guy after Ken? And it was fun. So I walked over to Ken and he goes,
Well,
what camera are you shooting with? And I told him, oh, Olympus, it's great to see somebody else who shoots with the same camera that I do.
so what I want to know is where's the guy's left hand?
You'd have to talk to Ken about that.
I'm gonna have to talk to Ken. Yeah.
I mean, Ken's smiling pretty big there.
Yeah. I had to go over there and Ken, come. No. And then I was trying to get the queen. She finally turned around so I could get her, and I took the picture. And later I looked, I'm going like, oh, look at she's in all these cell phone pictures too. That's kind of cool.
She looks more like Henry VIII than Queen Elizabeth I.
Yeah, she's growing some while on the pandemic. She's bigger.
And that's it for me. Let me see.
Very good.
Nice.
Cool.
Thank you. Let's see how I get out of the screen share.
Move your cursor up to the top left. And there you go.
You do.
And I have one additional thing to share here. Let's see, I go back here. Yesterday, there's an organization called Open Show, and they've got 50 or 100, I don't know how many, but quite a few branches around the world. They have one in LA. It's called Open Show LA. The one in Paris is Open Show Paris, that type of thing. And about every 4 to 6 weeks, they put out a call for people to submit work, and then they curate that, and they generally have maybe three selections, and then those people come and talk about their work, and they have about 20 minutes to talk about it. And there's some really excellent photography. So last night was Open Show LA, and it was a virtual meeting. So I went to that, and there were 3 presenters. The one I was most impressed with. The other 2, they were okay, but they didn't hold a candle or a match, whatever the term is, to this guy Ara. He's Lebanese, and he's done a book. He's published 3 books, and this is about the Lebanese diaspora, and he lives in LA now, but he went to Lebanon several years ago. And let's see if I can, whoops. There we go. I clicked the wrong button. So let's see here. If I can find it. Hang on, let me look. Okay, if I can find it. It's hard to, on these thumbnail. Oh, here it is, right? Whoops. Back up.
Back up, back up.
It is this one.
Oh,
We share this. So his name is Ara Oshagan. And this is about the displaced. He's not Lebanese, he's Armenian. So he has a really interesting style. And you'll see it after, you'll recognize what his style is after just seeing a couple photos. I really like this with the bright object in the foreground, and then the out of focus, and then the background is more in focus. That's a really nice, nice technique. I can't give a narrative on these because they're not mine. But so tell me what you see about his compositions and his style after just looking at those three.
Okay.
Anybody got?
turn me on.
I'm sorry.
Well, they're not really crooked, but he's not really paying attention to getting everything level. And he has a strong element in the foreground, but not always in focus. But there's something going on in the foreground and a lot going on in the background.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and when you look at these, that's the main characteristic of his compositions. You have a person or an object out of focus in the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right in your face, but what's really happening is what's in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a really powerful. I've seen it before, but I've never seen somebody that's the style that they use. And of course, there's real high contrast in most of these. This guy was evidently in, I think he was in, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I can't. He used to be an official, and he's Armenian, and he's been like all of these people. He's been displaced by the well, several things. The 1915 genocide, Turkish genocide, when they killed a lot of Armenians, and then like Ara, his family had to flee their home in Armenia, and they ended up in France, I think. And anyway, he went to a couple different places, and they always were forced out. And they settled in Beirut. So these are all photos from Beirut that he made several years ago. That genocide, there's no goodwill between the Turks and the Armenians to this day. And that genocide happened in 1915. So it's been 107 years, and you still see this type of thing. So I think most of these were made in 1918, like the caption says at the bottom.
2018.
2018.
What did I say? 19? Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're paying attention.
You're only a century behind.
He's documenting a way of life.
He is. That's exactly right.
And the photos are balanced.
Yeah, they are.
Like this one,
Uh-huh.
it's like the background elements and then the foreground.
Mhm.
Yeah, he seems to have a knack for that.
Yeah. And also, he uses field to ground really well. So you can see like in this one and in this one, you have a dark subject against a light background.
Mhm.
And that's a really nice effect.
I start to think how many points our judge give to this. More than 3 or less?
They wouldn't do well with our judges.
And most of the judges would really tell you, I'm sure that most of them would tell you, straighten it out, level it out.
Ah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
focusing
my personal
first, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Open
My
up the
personal
shadows.
feeling, if you actually leveled it, it would ruin the photo.
Yeah.
Mhm. And
It
then
would ruin it if
opposite-
you opened up those shadows too and had
Right.
Yeah.
That's
you
yeah,
know,
you're exactly right.
you don't always need to do that.
Yeah, you don't, well, yeah, you don't always need shadow detail or highlight detail either.
Exactly.
Mm.
Depends on the effect that you're trying to achieve.
And then quite everyone
Symmetry?
on the front is out of focus and the
Mhm.
background is perfect. And this is the beauty of the photo.
Yeah. This is great for
Yeah.
me. This is great use of light and shadow.
Yeah.
You got that really nice light on his face, and then everything else is pretty dark except for the buildings behind him.
What is that?
I don't know, but it looks like a dead animal to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like a piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Some lens flare, which is, in this case, it's very effective, I think. And then I love the smoke.
Yeah, the smoke made the photo for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Hey,
know
horse-
if,
sure.
yeah, I think they're shearing these sheep. I don't think,
I think you're right.
yeah, I
Looks
don't
like
think
they
they're
are.
butchering them.
Looks like they're shearing them.
This is the cover on his book, cover photo on his book. And he's and look at the really blown out intense light coming through here.
Yeah.
Right on the edge of the frame.
Yeah.
That,
Well,
that-
and
yeah, but it doesn't hurt the image.
not at all. And look at the highlight here, the completely blown out
Mhm.
part of this guy's back.
Sanders.
Yeah. This is kind of eerie, maybe. I don't know the right word, but it's a little unsettling with this completely silhouetted person walking through a door, and there's a person over here. And you wonder, at least I wonder, what this guy is doing or what will he do? You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what that reminds me of?
What?
What's his name? The photographer that became a member. He had his Liverpool stuff.
Oh, Bernard.
Bernard, yeah, and
Yeah.
the guys smoking and drinking in the pub.
Right, right. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. Bernard Fallon.
That's him.
Yeah.
You know, with all the anesthesia I've had, I've probably lost a lot of brain cells.
And you can't afford that, Tony.
No, I can't afford that.
Oh, you could have some implants. Don't worry.
Right.
Is this done with film?
This is film.
It is film.
I believe it's film. Yeah.
It looks like film. It
Yeah.
has that look about it.
Yeah. There's the shadows are too rich to be, you know, what they call, I guess they call D-Max is, you know, really strong. And you can get that in digital, but it's very difficult. I think this is all film, and he does use digital, but I'm pretty sure he said that for this project he used film because of the quality of the film.
Yeah. And it's not over sharpened, you know, digital so many times has that unnaturally sharp.
Right. Well, it gets halos and things like
Yeah.
that, you know.
It looks like it might be like 1600 speed or something.
Yeah, it's probably pretty fast because he's, you know, he doesn't have well, in a lot of these, he doesn't have a lot of light.
Yeah, exactly.
And there we are.
Wow.
So, what do you think of it?
Pretty neat.
Yeah, I find it, it's just beautiful work.
Not really my cup of tea.
Yeah, well,
Well, I really liked it. But you know, it's not a style that everybody's gonna just, you know, you can appreciate a style without wanting to go out and do that.
sure.
But
I think it has strong storytelling.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yes.
It's not something I want to spend a lot of time looking at, but I think it's telling a story, and that's important.
Well, these are photos from his book. And
Yeah,
he has more, but he only sent me these, you know, which is fine.
You know, it's kind of man as camera, just go out to where all this shit's happening and snap away.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he was snapping.
For me, it's not telling any stories.
I'm sorry?
It's not telling any stories. It's
Well, I'm
not
not sure how you can,
journalistic.
I'm not sure how you can say that because,
I think that's true.
They're not associated with each other, are they?
well, they don't have to be linear, and you know, you can tell stories without having to go A, B, C, you know.
Yeah, but there's no meaning to them. To the likes of us, maybe there's meaning to him.
Well,
I think I get a sense of strong storytelling when I look at them. I see a culture and you know, like somebody said, a way of life that he's kind of depicting, and they're all processed the same, and you know, they work together as a grouping.
and there's a theme.
There's a theme, and but I was going to say something else. I don't remember now.
Praying for it.
Well, if you look at, there's a photographer, I don't think she works anymore. Her name is Nan Golden. And she did a series called what was it? The Ballad, I think it was The Ballad of Sexual Dependency, something like that. Where she photographed just in an apartment building that she lived in. And most of the people were strung out and prostitutes and, you know, that kind of thing. And even though each image is completely different, there's a theme there.
The thing being, they're all shot in the same building.
Well, that's beside the point. It could have been in, you know, it could have been on the street. And
But the other thing I was going to say too is that the pictures, in one respect, they do look like they're just, you know, haphazardly taken. But if you understand photography and you look at those images, you know that he knew what he was doing. That, you know, he had he had the focus where he wanted it, and he had a sense of balance in there. And I think it's not easy to do. It's not easy to take pictures like that and have them work. And obviously, a lot of those images, there's a judge would tell you a lot of things that were wrong with them, like the sun flare. I mean, but yet he was good enough to make all that work. And so to me, that says, it's not just a quick grab shot. He knew what he was doing. Anyway, that's how I see it.
Well, also there was a consistency in the compositional style,
Yeah.
which brings them together also.
By that you mean the person in front out of focus and the people in the background in focus?
I'm sorry, say that again?
By that you mean the person in the front out of focus and the people in the background in focus?
Right.
Is that what you mean by compositional style?
Right.
Although some of those, he actually did have the person in the foreground in focus and the background out of focus. I think it was
A few, yeah.
dependent on
But
what he was trying to do.
yeah, but the main feature of his composition is that there's some person or object in the foreground, very strongly in the foreground on almost all of them.
That's true.
Well, you kind of need that, don't you, for that kind of photo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the photos would have been the feeling would have been completely different if that foreground object was not included,
Absolutely. Would you class that?
I'm sorry?
Would you class that documentary photography?
I don't know.
Not really street photography, is it? Because most of it's indoors.
Yeah, no, well, yeah. I guess I've never really understood the difference between documentary and street. So I would say that's probably more documentary than, but it's basically a hard call, at least for me. What do you think?
What's the book called?
The book is, hang on a second here, I'll tell you.
I think documentary photography, the street photography is a subset of documentary.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you can't really say, well, it's not.
It's documentary, but on the street.
Yeah.
And
Documentary is a very broad.
Yeah, different people have their own idea about what street photography is too. There's not total agreement there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find.
Oh, I thought you already had it on your screen there. But...
Yeah, no. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not finding it now. It's called Displacement. And I've written it as one word, displacement, but he between the S and the P, so DISPLA, between the S and the P, he puts a slash.
Right. So really, the theme is going all the way back to the 1915, and the people that have been displaced because of it.
Right, exactly. And that's where it all starts. It starts with the genocide, the 15 genocide the Turks put on the Armenians.
Yes.
And it's trying to show the effects of that, because the Armenians haven't really been able to settle in one area. They keep getting moved out. And that was his experience. They got moved 4 or 5 times just in his lifetime. And he's probably 47, 48.
I've got a friend who's Armenian, and she still posts about the 1915 genocide and how her family was, how it affected her. And I guess she managed to escape. I think she was living in Russia, and she just managed to escape with her daughter and just, by skin of her teeth.
Right.
So yeah, not good.
No.
That style really, it's messy. It's not neat and tidy. It has a different kind of energy to it that I can see why he would use that for that theme.
Well, also, um, a lot of cultures, and I believe Armenian cultures, a culture fits this. They have a real tight family orientation, and so these insults, these embarrassments, these forced migrations are and it's passed down from grandparents to parents to their kids, and so this affects the whole group of people, not just the originals, um, and and you saw that in the graffiti on the wall said "Turkey must die" or something like that. So there's still a lot of animosity and hatred, actually.
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm going to share something real quick.
Okay.
Uh,
Sorry, we're out of time, Chuck.
yeah. Well, this is my friend, and she just had a book come out,
Uh-huh.
surviving the Armenian genocide.
Oh, really? Cool.
So I don't know if you know Terry White. He's a dopey evangelist.
Yeah.
Okay, well, she's married to him.
That make her dopey evangelist?
Her maiden name was Pavlov, I think, or
Pavlov. So she slobbers a lot?
no, I can't remember exactly, but it was close to that.
Yeah.
She's a cancer survivor and interesting lady.
Yeah.
Did you say her husband was?
Terry White.
Yeah, I was thinking in the other white, the black guy that's something white.
He's a big black guy from Adobe. Does evangelist talks and lectures and
Yeah.
Tony, were you talking about the singer, the black singer?
No, I'm talking about the Adobe evangelist.
Oh, okay.
I can't think of his first name, but White, the black guy.
Terry.
Terry White. Yeah.
Yeah, she's married to him.
Right. That's what I didn't catch when you said it.
Harold, are you on here?
Yeah, I'm on, but I'm at the airport, so it's a little loud.
How much did you
Flying
see?
everywhere.
I am at the airport. Our flight got delayed by an hour or so.
Well, it did get delayed by a week before.
Where are you off to then?
Ireland.
Ireland.
To be sure.
Yeah, close to where you used to live, Tony.
Dublin's fair city.
Yeah. How you feeling?
Dublin's fair city, where the girls are so pretty. I like Dublin. I like Ireland, actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I've never been to the north.
Okay.
I've never been to Belfast or any of that,
Hey, Cheryl's in Ireland right now.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll run into her.
Yeah, you should
It's a small
email her.
island. Yeah. Where's she at? Do you know?
No, I don't know. She just told me that she wouldn't be at the meeting tonight because she's in Ireland. It's 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's no excuse.
That's pretty weak for an excuse. Yeah.
Yes.
But you have to remember that if you're in Dublin, you go into a pub or a bar and you order Guinness. But if you're in Cork, you go into a pub or bar and you order Murphy's.
Oh, okay. We'll remember that.
Know that.
They're both stout, very similar, but Murphy's is a local brew for Cork and that area down there.
Okay. We'll have to remember that.
Yeah.
I just go in and say beer, please.
That's what my father-in-law did. He said, "I did beer."
Did anybody share anything tonight with pictures? Or you guys already done?
Yeah, you came in too late.
Too late? Okay.
Yeah. It was fantastic. You wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Yes, in Dublin's fair city where the girls are so pretty.
Well, you sound like you're pretty chipper, Tony. Are they giving you some good drugs?
No, not really. I'm not feeling too bad at the moment.
Oh, good.
I get ups and downs. Sometimes it's better than others. And I'm feeling pretty good at the moment. I go and see the doctor again next Monday. I'm hoping he'll take. I've got about 40 or 50 staples down my stomach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm hoping those will come out soon. But yeah, I'm not doing too bad.
Good.
I can't complain, as the saying goes.
Did everything go as planned? The surgery went smoothly the way it was supposed to and all that?
Yes, yep. They were estimating the surgery would be 5 hours plus. It was wrapped up in 4 hours.
Yeah.
Partway through the surgery, one of the surgeon's assistants telephoned my wife and said, "We've got all the cancer, so it's all out."
All right.
Oh, wow.
So,
wonderful.
yeah, unfortunately, because of where it appeared, I got fairly early warning, and so I think it was like at stage 1. So can't really beat that, can you?
No,
Oh, that's good news.
that is good news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was surprised it went so quickly. That was a good sign.
Yeah, you feel a bit like when you come to, all your plumbing's been altered. They took away part of my the duodenum, which is part of the stomach, part of the pancreas, the gallbladder, and the bile duct, and part of the intestine, and they somehow stitch it all together.
Wow.
And so does everything feel weird down in your intestines?
Not internally feel weird, no. I mean, it's they say it will settle down. I tend to have, whenever I eat, drink, I tend to have a lot of belching at the moment, but for the most part, it feels okay.
Do they have you on a special diet, Tony?
It started off with the first 3 days after the surgery. It was nil by mouth, not even water. I couldn't even have a drop of water in my mouth.
Wow.
And so everything I was getting was through a bag, Then they put me on a liquid diet, pure liquid diet, for a couple of days, which was just liquids. And then I went on to what they call a wired jaw for people with a broken jaw. So it's all pureed stuff. And eventually I ended up on the full diet thing there. I could order anything on the menu, but I couldn't face it. I have at the moment, I have a limited capacity, and I'm only supposed to eat 4, 5, maybe 6 small meals, more like snacks than a proper meal.
Small meals instead of 3.
Yeah, which is what I was at earlier. I just had some graham crackers with some peanut butter on, and a few grapes, and that you have to eat small amounts, but eventually 6, 8 weeks on, I should almost be back to normal in what I can eat and that.
Wow.
I might have problems with greasy food.
That's the gallbladder.
Yeah. Because there's no gallbladder anymore. So, but so far I've done very well. I had a problem with what day was it? It would have been about day 3, I think. I was in the hospital because I was in there 8 days, or by the time I got out, it was 8 days. And they decided all of a sudden, I think it was the night of day 3, they put me on, I've got a feeding tube in my stomach, and a bottle of this stuff, they hang it on, and it pumps it straight into your stomach. Well, I couldn't tolerate it. It just gave me diarrhea like that. It went straight through me. And so the next night they did it again with the same result. But right from the start that I've been able to actually take food, I haven't had any problem eating food or digesting it. So they stopped that, thank goodness, because I couldn't stand that constant diarrhea.
No, that'd be a drag.
Oh yeah.
So it's a good thing they put that feeding tube in your stomach instead of rolling you over.
Yeah. Yeah, I got this thing here now, and it's one of the worst parts because it goes in there and it's sewn to the outside of my abdomen, but it goes through into the stomach, and it gets a bit sore where it's sewn to the skin, and at times, especially being on the fat side, you know, if I lean forward, it like wants to push indent into my abdomen, and
Ouch.
it's sore as hell.
So, but it sounds like you don't need it then, right?
No, I mean, I don't need it. When I see him Monday, I think he'll take it out.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, according to talking to nurses and that, some people can't tolerate the real food after this surgery for quite some time, so they're constantly fed with it.
Mhm.
I was the opposite. I couldn't tolerate this slop they were putting in me. You know, it was. It looked a bit like fine porridge, but boy, it was bad. It was bad. It was a case of in the middle of the night. I need to go to the toilet, but there's no point in ringing the bell because you've already done it. You couldn't stop yourself.
Yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun.
Fun at all. It was. But all in all, really speaking, I feel I'm doing quite well. I had a telephone conference this afternoon with a nutritionist, you know, who's saying, yeah, you know, are you tolerating the food, and you know, you should have, like I said, these 5, maybe 6 small meals and snacks during the day. They also got me doing at least once a day these Ensure, you know, these little bottles of really
For
expensive
protein, yeah.
yeah, for protein. So I'm doing one of those a day. But I seem to be able to tolerate practically anything. In fact, you know, where we live in the park there, the gardener, who's a kind of friend of ours, suddenly called today and said, you know, I've got your lunch for both of us. And he came around and he bought, I don't know where he got them from, 2 tri-tip sandwiches. They were delicious.
Oh, gosh.
Well,
I guess you're back to
only
normal
ate
then.
half of mine, but the other half I'll have tomorrow. It was really good tri-tip sandwiches, nice and tender, and yeah.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah, I didn't touch the beans. I wanted to, but they were pretty spicy, and I didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, so it's currently it's really more a case of being careful, not overloading my stomach and that kind of stuff. You know.
Yeah, just a little bit at a time.
So there's a big part of me missing in there. Somewhere on the operating table. Oh no, in the incinerator now. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you're doing so well. It's
Yeah.
good to see you.
Thank you. Yeah, I, you know, when I first got diagnosed, I thought that's it. I'm done.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But medical science and all that, and luck of getting caught early, made things look pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. Usually they catch the pancreas stuff way late, and then it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's very short time.
Yep. You know, I've heard so many. Well, not so many. I've heard people diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, and 2 weeks later they're dead. You know.
Right.
We had one of our brothers in my fraternity got pancreatic cancer, and he passed away quite a while ago. We went down there and had a last party for him. Beach party. We always like beach parties, so we all went there and celebrated with him. And it's very sad.
It is, yeah.
It is. Yeah.
You know, and over the last couple of years, as you know, I've had hip replacement. I've been walking. I've been getting fit. I'm probably fitter than I've been for years, and then suddenly you get struck down with that. You know.
Exactly.
Well, I'm glad you'll be around longer for us to harass, so that you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
More years to
You know, the day before this became apparent, we were out on the pinhole day. A lot of us were together having fun there down in
Yeah.
the beach and that. you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
And I felt great that day. And the next day I felt a bit off. And then a week later, I'm like this, you know.
Yeah.
I will survive.
Yeah,
Well,
you.
Yeah.
Yes. Good job.
I'm looking forward to getting out and doing some photography again.
Yeah.
well, speaking of that, the next event will be, I, Elaine, I think the info you sent me, was for the first weekend in August.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Um, to, going to the Dana Adobe in Napomo. They're having kind of an open house fundraiser where they'll have music and booths, and of course the Adobe will be open. And if you haven't been to the Adobe, it's it's not anything fantastic to photograph, but it's interesting history-wise in our local area. So, and you might find something great to photograph there.
I'll be back in a minute.
And they'll have probably some reenactors, I think,
I think
coming.
they had some people that were going to be in period clothing from what it sounded like.
Yeah,
Maybe at least.
probably some of the docents from La Purísima Mission will be there. That's what they've done in the past. Anyway, it'll be I think it's a $10 fee to go in, and it's like I said, a fundraiser for the Adobe. It sounds like something fun to do and something different.
They really made a lot of progress on that. Because we'd gone, or I'd gone, I don't know how many years ago it was, but there wasn't really that much there. And they've really did a lot of restoration on that place. And they had a fundraiser, or they had a flea market kind of fundraiser about a month or so ago that Ron and I went to, and I'd never been, in since they've done all this restoration work. And so while we were there at the flea market, we decided to go in, and we were the only ones on a tour. We got this tour, a private tour, and the guy told us so much history. It was a very interesting tour. We really enjoyed it. So I was impressed with what they've done there and learned a lot. So
And they have the visitor center now, and
yeah,
plans to do other things with the. I think they said they have 100 acres of land.
wow.
They have trails.
They they expanded their footprint to encompass the creek and a lot of the oak forest. They've planted baby oaks all over the hillside
Hmm.
there to bring back the oak woodlands, and
Oh,
should be interesting in time. How it will age a little bit. To me, the renovations are just too new
Yeah,
to
but
be for an old building.
yeah, but it seemed like they did. They had that one room where they showed the original walls,
Yes.
and then the newer walls, and they really did try to keep it authentic. The construction and everything was all done as much as they could to be like the original. So
Hmm.
I thought they did a pretty good job with the renovation work.
oh,
Yeah.
now
Every once in a while they'll have a history talk that the community's invited to go to, where they'll talk about the Bear Flag Rebellion, I think it is. Or Dave Clary knows all this because his interest in California history, um, and other things that our area was involved in.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was so much history there, and that significant things that went on there. So it was
Mhm.
interesting.
I'm liking the history of Alan's camera collection there.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool
Yeah.
collection of cameras.
Yeah, more interesting than Alan himself.
Oh,
Whoa, that's not nice.
There he is.
There he
Just
is.
a white shirt.
It's just admiring your camera collection.
Oh yeah,
was-
it was from a field trip to the flea market in San Luis Obispo that we did with the meetup group years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not your own.
No, this camera, there were all these cool looking cameras, and every one of them was like beat up and junk. So
They were all just piled up like that.
yeah, they were because I always read these like blogs and people are talking about going to flea markets and picking up neat old film cameras, and everything they had there was just like
Junk.
scratched up, broken, dented. There was nothing I wanted. So
We all dream.
hey, but you know what? Since I have the floor here, just want to remind everyone in August, according to our schedule, we're having an in-person meeting on August 3rd at Merrill Gardens and a in-person competition on August 17th. And the thing about Merrill Gardens is I think you're supposed to bring your Vax card or something. I would imagine if you bring it once, you don't have to bring it again. Or maybe if you had a copy on your phone, I don't know. Sure, I'll talk to Cheryl about how you're supposed to do that. And then you have to wear a mask.
Okay.
If you haven't been vaccinated, then you're supposed to get a COVID test. Though I think current COVID that's going around, vaccinating and masking or vaccinating and having had it doesn't make a whole lot of difference. I don't know. We'll see what happens because we'll see what happens.
Is that going to be in like 2 weeks then?
Yeah, it's supposed to be August 3rd.
So we're having the program and the competition
In person in August.
Well,
But, of course, that's subject to change. And then in September, it's supposed to be the still life competition. Competition is going to be on September 7th. That's supposed to be online, and then there's supposed to be an in-person program meeting at Merrill Gardens. I mean,
It's all
somehow
mixed up.
all this guy really screwed up.
It
But
is.
it's a mess. We should have gone right through to the end of the year on.
Yeah, I'm just not worried about it this year, but oh well.
well, it may work out that way. But anyway, for the since we are doing a competition in September on still life for August 3rd, I think we should have a discussion on if you want to do. I mean, if you want to do anyone wants to submit any samples of still lifes they've done digitally, or Rosie had some stuff that we sent out on. Frank sent it out on still lifes, and anything that we can do just to talk about it and get on the same page as to what it is, and then maybe you can do a triptych still life or something.
There's a lot of really good videos out there on still life photography and a lot of information available online.
Yeah.
But a lot better than what I could. I mean, I know what I like to do, and normally what I do is experiment. I go, I'm not very good at knowing the results I'm going to get. So I just play with it and see how this works and see how that works. And so it's kind of hard for me to tell other people what I do because I'm just learning.
Yeah, we can find some. I'm sure there's plenty of videos out there.
But yeah, there's a lot of information out there, and but I could share a couple of pictures. But
Well, if we end up doing that online, as far as a program meeting about still lives, maybe someone could show one of those videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if we do it in person, and maybe I'm not sure. I have a YouTube Premium subscription. I don't know if I can download something and show it offline or not, like I can with Amazon Prime. We'll look into it, but we got 2 weeks to figure it out. And like I say, well, Cheryl's out of town. I don't know when she's coming back in. But August 3rd is pretty close to now, is the 20th. So
August 3rd's in person.
In person.
And August the 17th?
Yeah.
That's bad.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what happened. Somehow this.
Well, we ended up doing it
Yeah,
too online where we didn't have, I guess because we had something
Because
last.
the original idea wasn't that in July we have 1 and 1, but because we were not able to go to Merrill, so in July we have 2 by computer.
But what it went from confusing to more confusing is what it did.
Well, we should have let Frank, make the schedule up. Then we would have known better.
We could blame him, right?
But now that we have it, it's like it doesn't really matter. We just have to go with it. I mean, it's just too difficult after it's been put out by Cheryl. We'll just go with it.
Yeah,
don't think too much about it. Just follow.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Well,
Merrill Gardens don't shut us down again anyway.
Gosh, I just can't see us meeting in person in 2 weeks.
I can't either, not with the current outbreak that's been going on.
right. We've got this new variant, and
Not
it's
to mention the monkeypox.
yeah.
Well, the monkey
His
pox
life
is
in
not a big
California.
concern. We're not going to be that friendly.
How do you know?
I'll wear my gorilla suit if that would help.
But
So
yeah, I don't know about what's going to happen with Merrill Gardens. I think they're just wise to be really cautious, to tell you the truth, and I don't know.
yeah, they have to be. They have a very vulnerable population.
They do.
Yeah.
I have a vulnerable population in my own house, and so that's always a concern for us. And one of the reasons we did not go to the Renaissance Fair because we heard it was they were expecting like 20,000 people, and we're walking around all day in that heat with a mask on my face. It did not sound enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday was quite rigorous.
Well,
Yeah,
they were
Sunday
saying
was much better.
when I was in Cottage Hospital, they were saying about a third of their staff were out with COVID. They were short of staff. And I was getting tested every 3 days.
Yeah, and they're saying that, whether you've had it 2 or 3 weeks ago or not isn't going to matter if if you're exposed to this new variant. You have just as much chance of catching it as if you haven't had it. So,
And that reminds me of something. I did send out. We're supposed to have a Saturday breakfast.
Yeah.
This Saturday, and when I put that, I was wondering if people are comfortable doing that.
we were thinking of not going.
Well, I would love to go, but I don't think I'll be fit enough to go. So.
Yeah, I may send out a retraction notice and cancel
We
it.
did go out yesterday with the meetup. We did go out, but we sat, in open windows, and
right.
Even that was, it was a risk, I thought, but
Well,
you have to live, except life goes on. But we feel like with our current situation at home. I know that my mom's had her vaccinations, but she's got COPD, and it would probably definitely mean hospitalization at the. And I just don't want to go there. I just don't want to deal with it.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to just put out a retraction and cancel it.
Yeah.
Would you want to do something online, or do you need a break?
Well, it's a.
We always have a virtual one anyway.
Yeah.
Every Saturday, once a month. This was just an extra that we did.
Yes.
And the idea was to get together,
Yeah.
you know, and have breakfast. So, you know, virtual not really going to fill the bill.
Yeah, I've been to the last two and it was good fun, you know,
Yeah, yeah. We always have a good time.
even without you being there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we have a majority of the board is online right now. Do you think I should approach Cheryl and suggest that maybe we vote on whether to terminate in-person meetings for the rest of the year?
I think that would be a good idea.
I think it'd be a great idea.
So too.
Yeah, because I think I'm gonna propose that because it's like we're like chasing something we can't catch.
Right.
Well,
I thought that was going to be an issue, to tell you the truth.
I'm
but
not gonna,
it's
you
been
know,
sooner than
print a picture for a competition if it's gonna get postponed last minute. And,
Right.
you know,
Well,
I just really don't want to do that myself.
Yeah.
I will go along with the majority.
Right. So will I, but it's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I think what I'll do is I'll tell Cheryl that we were talking about it and maybe the board can vote on it online.
Mhm.
We can or have a Zoom meeting and because yeah, I'd just as soon not meet in person. I mean, I'm not really keen on having to, you know, take a chance.
Well, you look at history and fall is always, you know, a time of the year when the flu first
Yep.
starts coming out. And I think they expect the fall to be, you know, probably another new variant out.
Yeah.
To mention the flu, as you say, flu shots and that.
Right.
right.
Well,
Well, we could always have get-togethers socially, you know, beyond our regular scheduled times.
Yeah,
we could rent the high school football field and just, you know, put people in different places.
6 feet apart.
Well, I'm thinking more like 60.
Yeah, we could get together somewhere outside, you know, that would make more sense
An
than getting
outdoor
together
field
at
trip
Carroll
is-
Gardens.
Yeah.
Outdoor
do a
field trip's a
field trip.
great way to get together.
Penny, you mentioned the Dana Adobe,
Yes.
and it reminded me that I had a, you know, the migrant mother was photographed there by, um,
In Napomo, anyway.
yeah,
Close
in the
by.
well, it was on the grounds of the
Dorothea Lang, are you trying to?
yeah. So I had done a little tribute to that migrant mother. And
Yeah, I
so
remembered that.
yeah, so I'm gonna show it to you here. I just share it for a minute. There you go.
Oops.
It should be out of focus, though.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, I didn't see that. You're right. I could have put it out of focus and her in.
Make her black and white.
Yeah.
I love the nipples.
Yeah. So there's my contribution.
Nice.
that's a good
I
one.
don't think it'll go into the Library of Congress, though.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
I did a whole series. I have her at the train station, and you know.
She's kind of like a flat Stanley, huh?
Yeah,
She's
that'd
what?
be kind of
Do you know
fun.
what a flat Stanley is?
No.
She's a Buxomus Stanley.
Yeah, Flat Stanley is a project that third graders do in elementary school.
Ah.
They draw a picture of a boy from a storybook, and his name is Stanley, and they have to give Stanley to someone to go live with.
Mm-hmm.
And then Stanley has this life that is shown in photographs and
writing.
and writing and stuff. And so you have to find somebody good to give Stanley to that's going to do stuff with him. And then he eventually returns to you. And so working in a school, I had to have a Flat Stanley a couple of times. And we took Flat Stanley on vacation with us and had to take pictures of him all over the place. And he brought back souvenirs to his
That would make a
creator.
good year-end project.
Yeah, Flat Stanley was actually, I didn't want to do it. I thought, oh gosh. And then I had to write a letter after, Flat Stanley had to write a letter about all his adventures. And I didn't want to have to do it, but I have to admit, it was a lot of fun.
Well, I'll be glad to donate my photo for the Flat Stanley.
Yeah, I don't think that one's third grade appropriate, but
Elaine,
No,
did
no,
you
I was talking
get-
about a year-end project,
oh, okay.
we could just pass it around.
Elaine,
That's
did you
what
get to
it's
meet the
used
student
for.
you gave
sorry?
the Flat Stanley stuff to and sent letters and stuff?
Yeah, I worked in this school and someone,
Did three or
and then
four.
my grandson actually gave it to me to do. So I think that was my third time I did it for my grandson.
Did
And
it, what kind of
Yeah,
reaction did
my
you get from the
nephew.
students?
what's that?
What kind of reaction did you get from the students when you gave them
Oh,
updates?
they
from
really
Tina?
appreciated it. I think it was fun for them too. He picked up pencils from, different places that we would go. Like I said, we went to Death Valley and we went up the coast to Point Reyes one time with one, and we made sure that we had to go someplace that, interesting for Stanley to go to.
Yeah.
And so
Did
it
the
was
other did the other people doing it get to meet the students too and take the stuff to them, or how
not
did that work?
everybody gets to meet the student, but most of the time it's somebody that the student knows that they're going to ask to do it, or somebody that they think is going to actually do something with them.
We even did one from our cousin in Missouri.
Oh yeah, that's right. We got one from Missouri from a relative that lives in Missouri and asked us to do a Flat Stanley. So yeah, I've done several Flat Stanleys.
I just,
That's cool.
One of them had a mishap and he lost part of his arm, I think.
Oh
And
no.
so we had to write this big story about this accident that he had while he was on vacation, and we put a Band-Aid and a cast on him. When he was returned, he'd had a doctor's appointment and had to be bandaged back up.
Did you entitle it? That's another fine mess you got me into.
That would have been good. I didn't think of that.
well, when you first said it, I thought it was a flat-chested woman named Stanley, so.
Yeah, as I was saying Flat Stanley, I was thinking, well, that one definitely wasn't flat, but
Well, guys, it's been fun, but I need to go rest a bit.
yeah,
Yes,
I'm
it-
so glad that
Me
you
too.
enjoyed this,
We're
Tony.
we're
It was so
done.
good to see you.
Yeah.
Glad you're doing okay.
Yeah.
Good, Tony.
You know,
Yeah.
give me a week or two, and maybe we can get together somewhere.
Yep,
Sure.
I would enjoy that.
Yep.
Yes, it's lovely
Okay.
to see you all.
Yeah,
And,
well, I'm
See you
gonna,
too.
Good to see you.
yeah, I'm gonna
Bye.
terminate the meeting too. It's.
Don't
approaching
terminate me.
Not you, I said the meeting.
All right.
Can I ask Penny a question first before
Sure.
you? So Penny on the Bodie,
Yes.
so are you guys camping?
I don't think I sent you an email,
Oh, you did? Okay.
Monday,
Oh,
and
okay. I'll look for
and I'm
it.
glad, to see you. I don't know, maybe I have an old address for you. Did you change your email perhaps? To where,
No?
but I was asking you about logistics, about it, since you were thinking to go.
Oh, I see it. I got it. I
Okay.
missed it. I didn't see
Oh,
it.
okay.
Okay,
Why
cool.
don't you look it over and then give me a phone call?
Okay, I'll give you a call maybe tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds
sounds
good.
great.
Okay,
Thank you.
Also, Rosie, I wanted to tell you that Ron and I are going to do the meetup meeting virtually this month.
Yeah, I saw
Just
you.
okay, just an FYI for you, so you
yeah,
know that.
I'm gonna do the same.
You're going to do a virtual meeting this
Yeah.
month? Yeah.
I
I'm
might-
doing the same.
I might too. I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
That boat did turn out to be really nice yesterday. It was really a nice day to be out there. but
Oh, yeah, the shipwreck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ron and I went a little bit earlier. We didn't go just at the meetup time, and it was high tide and it was foggy and it was really pretty out there. And then when we went back, the water was still fairly high, and we had a little color in the sky, a really faint color of pink. You know, what do they call that on the horizon?
Wow.
But anyway, it turned out to be a pretty nice night out there.
Yeah. I had a window cleaner guy appointment come out, so I couldn't go. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was the first time we went out for a day like that, you know, for that length of time for a while, and we needed it. It was fun.
Yeah. I was down in Southern California for 3 weeks. So,
All right, guys,
Yeah.
I gotta go, so I'll see you soon.
Okay, Tony.
Okay,
Take care.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Sign off also.
all
All
right.
right.
A bit later.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna terminate the meeting.
All
Okay.
right. See ya.
Night all.
Good to see
Bye.
all of you.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.